Hello everybody, Thomas, and welcome to SFF180. It is Monday, July 25th, and time for the mailbag. Let me think really quickly in the way of announcements. Booktubeathon went okay. Of course, I didn't finish everything that I wanted to read, but I made some good headway, so that's a thing. Looking forward to ArmadilloCon this coming weekend. Wes Chu is guest of honor, as I said. I have 3 Saturday panels and a Sunday panel, but apart from that, I'm looking forward to a really nice, relaxing weekend of that, so yay. Also, if you're registered for Worldcon, either as a supporting or attending member, don't forget this is the last week in which you can vote for the Hugos, so be sure to remember to do that. As for my own Worldcon plans, yeah, looks like I may not be attending after all. I need to kind of watch things, you know, around here in terms of the pocketbook. So I'm sorry about that, but I am very, very definitely looking at trying to make it to Helsinki next year. So we will see. All right, that does it for announcements. Let's get into the packages. There are 10 of them this week, so I guess we better get to business. Okay, this is hand-addressed to me, and it comes from a company called World Weaver Press. Okay, so a small press, independent title, looks like. Huh, okay, these are kind of interesting. Yeah, this is a small press based out of Albuquerque, and the first of these is a novella called Murder in the Generative Kitchen by Meg Pontecorvo, about a woman accused of poisoning her husband using a generative, quote-unquote, smart kitchen, and a juror calling into the trial via virtual reality who believes she may be innocent. Okay. With the vacation jury duty system, jurors can lounge on a comfortable beach while watching the trial via virtual reality. Julio is loving the beach, as well as the views of a curvy fellow juror with a rainbow lacquered skin modification who seems to be the exact opposite of his recent ex-girlfriend back in Chicago. Because of jury sequestration rules, they can't talk to each other at all, or else they'll have to pay full price for this Acapulco vacation. Still, Julio is desperate to catch her attention, but while he struts and tries to catch her eye, he also becomes fascinated by the trial at hand. Well, it's nice for him to, like, actually do the thing he's there to do. At first, it seemed a foregone conclusion that the woman on trial used a high-tech generative kitchen to feed her husband a poisonous meal, but the more evidence mounts, the more Julio starts to suspect the kitchen may have made the decision on its own. I like the sound of this, all right. Okay, so this comes out on Tuesday, September 27th, it says. Murder in the Generative Kitchen from World Weaver Press. And this next one does not actually have a sell sheet attached to it, but it's called Campaign 2100, Game of Scorpions. The author is Larry Hodges, and looks like a political satire because it says the year's 2100 and the world has adopted the American two-party electoral system. When it comes to the election for president of Earth, the father-daughter team of Toby and Laura Platt, there we are the cutthroat campaign directors who get candidates elected by any means necessary, including the current president, Corbin Dubois of France. But when an alien lands outside the United Nations claiming to be an ambassador from Tau Ceti, Dubois orders her attacked. Toby resigns. The alien survives, and so it seems might Dubois' corrupt re-election campaign now run by Lara. But Toby vows to put his daughter out of a job. He challenges the two major parties, one conservative, one liberal, and runs for president himself with a third-party moderate challenge. He's a long shot, but he's determined to fix the problems he created in getting Dubois elected. Amid rising tensions and chants of alien go home, the campaign crisscrosses every continent as father and daughter battled for electoral votes and clash over the ideas and issues facing the world of 2100 in this bare-knuckle, fight-to-the-finish political campaign. The world is watching, and so is the alien. Okay, everyone, I guess this is the book we asked for in this horrible, horrible election year. But, again, this sounds like it could be very witty and amusing. A couple of really pleasant surprises from the small press end of things. You never know, right, what you're going to find. But it's by Larry Hodges, Campaign 2100, Game of Scorpions, and I don't know a release. But this is appears to be a finished copy, not an ARC, so I'm guessing nowish. Well done, World Weaver. You have brought something fresh to the table. Okay, here is a package from Random Penguin. All right, Shauna McGuire fans, this is Once Broken Faith, and it is the latest in the long-running October Day Urban Fantasy series. Comes out September 6th. It's the 10th volume. Okay. And, well, if you're a fan of this series, you already know about it. Politics have never been October Toby Day's strong suit. When she traveled to the Kingdom of Silences to prevent them from going to war with her home, the Kingdom of the Mists, she wasn't expecting to return with a cure for elf shot and a whole new set of political headaches. Asharnan also has another novella that I just got in electronic form coming out from Tor.com Publishing right around the end of the year. So I'll be reviewing that very soon. But the October Day series is one that I really want to get caught up with. So Once Broken Faith comes out September 6th from DAW. I'm going to say DAW's arcs are nicer looking little trade paperbacks than their actual mass market paperbacks. Okay, this is from Hachette. And here it is, the anticipated Obelisk Gate. I've already had this one as an e-arc, and I've started reading it as an e-arc, but to be perfectly honest with you, I would much, much rather read it in this form. But as you see, it is coming out, I believe, the 12th of August, or something like that, imminently. Orbit doesn't actually put sell sheets in with their review copies. I'm like, come on, guys. But as you know, this is the sequel to the 5th season, which I have reviewed, and which was a widely beloved book from last year. And so here we now have the sequel, which looks, I can just tell you from the physical dimensions of the book, a bit shorter than its predecessor, but I am expecting it to continue the series in rather stimulating ways, I'm hoping. So look for an imminent review of this. Obelisk Gate, coming at you. Okay, and another little random penguin package. And here is the finished copy of The Last Days of New Paris, the new short novel. It's not a full-length novel. It is a short novel, a little bit longer than this Census Taker, which was a novella, coming from China Mieville, and this is on the 9th of August. Okay, so I'm guessing 9th, not the 12th, would also be the date for Obelisk Gate. Okay, once again, imminent review of this one. In the pipeline, it says, from the best-selling and award-winning master of sci-fi, fantasy, and speculative fiction, a surrealist bomb transfigures war-torn Paris into a phantasmagoric dreamscape, unleashing a race of nightmarish creatures. 1941, in the chaos of wartime Marseille, American engineer and occult disciple Jack Parsons stumbles onto a clandestine anti-Nazi group, including surrealist theorist Andre Breton. In the strange games of the dissident diplomats, I'm sure I mispronounced his name badly there. In the strange games of the dissident diplomats, exiled revolutionaries, and avant-garde artists, Parsons finds and channels hope. But what he unwittingly unleashes is the power of dreams and nightmares, changing the war and the world forever. So August 9th for The Last Days of New Paris by China Mieville. Hell of a week so far, huh? Let's see what we have here. This is a big fat package from Simon & Schuster, so it's probably a saga title. Whew. Well, the awesome continues with The Wall of Storms. This is Ken Liu's sequel to The Grace of Kings. It is fatter and heavier and massiver than The Grace of Kings, I can tell you right now. This is coming out October the 4th from Saga Press. And what can I tell you that isn't going to be like crazy spoilery? Okay. Well, it looks like not much anyway, but yeah. The Wall of Storms. Okay then. Look for reviews of Ken Liu's work here, again, on the site and on the channel shortly. Hopefully within maybe September, early October-ish. Just how much bigger? Holy cow. All right. 850 pages at least in hardcover, so. Okay, moving on. This is from Prometheus Books, a Pyre title. Okay, I know this is turning into a cliche around here, but yes, Masks and Shadows, which was Stephanie Burgess's first book, was one that I really still want to get to, and so this is the sequel, Congress of Secrets, so maybe I should do it right around now, but Congress of Secrets comes out November 1st. It is the sequel to Masks and Shadows, I'm sorry, not the Masks of Shadows, Masks and Shadows, Congress of Secrets, and this takes place in 1814. It says the Congress of Vienna has just begun, diplomats battle over a new map of Europe, actors vie for a chance at glory, and aristocrats and royals from across the continent come together to celebrate the downfall of Napoleon, among them Lady Caroline Wyndham, a wealthy English widow. But Caroline has a secret. She was born Carolina Vogel, daughter of a radical Viennese printer. When her father was arrested by secret police, Caroline's childhood was stolen from her by dark alchemy. Under a new name and nationality, she returns to Vienna, determined to save her father, even if she has to resort to the same alchemy that nearly broke her before. Let's see. But she isn't expecting to meet her father's old apprentice, Michael Steinhuler. Now a charming conman in the middle of his riskiest scheme ever. The sinister forces... You know something? I don't know if this is a sequel to Masks and Shadows. It appears to be its own thing. All right. Because this sounds very much like, a standalone story synopsis. Anyway, the sinister forces that shattered Carolyn's childhood still rule Vienna behind a glittering facade of balls and salons. Michael's plan is fraught with danger, and both of their disguises are more fragile than they realize. What price will they pay to the darkness if either of them is to survive? Well, it could be or it might not be. Either way, it comes out November the 1st. It is a Regency fantasy from Stephanie Burgess, Congress of Secrets. Sounds kind of nifty. Let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, moving on, another Hachette package. And this is not from Orbit, it is from Joe Fletcher Books, and Joe Fletcher Books very kindly provides cell sheets. Thank you very much. This is a book called Soul Survivors, as you see the pun there. The author is Naomi Foyle, and this comes out August 2nd, so very soon. Let's see, it says, in Soul Survivors, praised for its impeccable plotting by The Guardian, global warming has wreaked havoc on the planet. There's only one safe place to be, in the mountains above Seoul. And glamorous Korean-American bioengineer Dr. Kim Da-mi is convinced she has found the perfect solution to save the human race. But her methods are strange, and her business partner, Johnny Sandman, is an unsavory character with many secrets. When impetuous, aspiring model Sydney flies to Seoul at the behest of Sandman, her boyfriend, and meets Dr. Kim Da-mi, she doesn't know that the scientist is engaged in a secret power struggle with Johnny that will threaten her own life. Seduced by the visionary scientist, Sydney begins helping Dr. Kim Da-mi create a new breed of human beings to staff a revolutionary theme park virtue world. This is just strange and getting stranger. As the winter solstice looms, the internet is rife with rumors that a devastating meteor called Lucifer's Hammer is heading straight towards Earth. Wow, okay, so we've got global warming, this possible love triangle thing going on, supermodels, scientific experiments, and now a meteor. Okay. Virtue World and a theme park. All right. Virtue World would be a haven from an eco-apocalypse. Well, how could it be if a meteor is going to kill us all? But its success demands a sacrifice. Just whose blood will spill is far from certain until the final pages of this tense cyber thriller. On August the 2nd, all right, well, I gotta admit, I mean, this book sounds like it throws in everything but the kitchen sink. Who knows? Could work. But Naomi Foyle's Soul Survivors comes out August the 2nd. All right, moving on. Next to last package, and it feels like a hardcover from Random Penguin. And it is The Guns of Empire. This is the 4th volume in Django Wexler's Flintlock fantasy series, The Shadow Campaigns. It's book 4. If you love this series, you already know what it's all about, and being book 4, of course, I can't really give you much in the way of a synopsis, because spoileroo, right? But anyway, I'm guessing that this is coming out imminently, the very beginning of the month, from Rock, and it looks quite pretty. The Guns of Empire by Django Wexler. And last one, everybody. Last one is from Simon and Schuster. Let's see what we have. And this is a little thing called Highway to Hell, Can You Survive the Zombie Apocalypse? All right then, the choice is yours. If you don't survive, you've got no one to blame but yourself. This is being described as a choose-your-own zombie adventure book. All right, it's from Gallery Press. It says, Highway to Hell, interactive, hilarious, and heart-pounding, has 150 paths with 75 possible endings. The perfect book to take on your summer road trip, Highway to Hell combines the nostalgia of the classic choose-your-own format with the zombie genre, giving fans an interactive and fun experience. You've probably read your fair share of zombie stories, oh indeed, but this time it's different. In a horrific and hilarious cross-country road trip, or rather suicide mission, you must overcome obstacles of every kind to save zombified America from utter collapse. You're inside your prison cell waiting to be released. Your name is Jimmy El Camino, and you're a badass. In fact, you're a supreme badass. Rambo with style. All right. Snake Plissken with a failing liver. You've killed more men than cancer, but more men than the zombie apocalypse. That's questionable. Okay. Your mission, drive your heavily armed 1967 El Camino from New York City to San Francisco in order to save the world. Along the way, you'll encounter Ring's Most Wonderful Circus Show. You'll battle zombies gladiator style. You'll be forced to deal with lunatics. And every step of the way, an army of drivers in armored vehicles is hot on your trail because there's one man, the mayor of New York, who will stop at nothing to keep this apocalypse of the undead alive, and it goes on from there. All right, then. Well, if this sounds like, you know, your sort of thing, if this comes out August the 2nd from Gallery Books. And there you have it, everybody. Quite a week, if I do say so. Some really interesting stuff, some terrific stuff from the Big Five, but a few unexpected and rather neat-looking surprises, I would have to say. Anyway, you all know the drill. Hit those comments. Let me know which of these looks most interesting, exciting to you, which you want to see me prioritize in the review queue. And apart from that, if you enjoyed watching, like button is right there. Share the video far and wide with all your SFF reading friends, and above all, please sub if you have not done so. That is how SFF180 grows as a channel. And until I see all you lovely folks next time, happy reading.